Shadows whisper, voices sound. Welcome in to Paranormal Bound. Footsteps fall where none should be. The dark is waiting. Come and see.
Shadows rise, air grows hot.
Guard my soul, touch me not.
Chains of dark circle round.
Sealed in silence, paranormal bound.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Paranormal Bound podcast. I am Nathan.
I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Rachel.
So this is our first episode, and we're gonna serenade everybody tonight with a few ghost stories that are our favorites. Some commentary to go with them. So, let's get into them. Like I said, this is our first show. Wherever you're listening to us right now, more than likely Spotify or YouTube, please share the show with everyone you know. We would highly, highly appreciate that. And I'm sorry if the audio is a little messed up, but this is my first time doing a podcast with this people. So, Ronnie, do you want to start?
I was thinking that maybe you should start.
Oh, you want me to start?
You do a story, I do a story, you do a story, you know.
All right. So what do you guys, what do you guys think? Should I start with Infield or Waverly Hills?
I'm gonna go to her.
Are they both decently the same size? I feel like you should do your
They're
longest
decent
story
in
first.
size. Just one's scarier than the other. One's got more mystery. The other one's just like, fuck this, go away.
Okay. I think you should start with the mystery first.
Mystery. Waverly Hills, definitely. Now, for the listeners, hang on a minute. For the listeners that have never heard of Waverly Hills Sanatorium, I believe it's in Louisville, Kentucky. So, basically, this was a sanatorium for tuberculosis, and there was like, I think 60,000 people that ended up going through there. A bunch of them never came back, and it was just one of those terrifying things. So, I'm going to pull up my story here. Okay. Yes. Oh. Sorry, I'm actually the one choking tonight. Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Sorry, everybody. First episode jitters. Pardon me very much. Okay.
Something tells me we're not alone tonight.
Why is that?
Just a feeling per se.
There's a ghost in this house.
Are you having one of those feelings right now?
Oh, absolutely. There is absolutely an entity that resides in this house.
Oh, that's good to know before I start a fucking ghost story. Okay. This is definitely one of the most haunted places in America, and I don't think it's because of its size. This place is massive. Viewers, if you want to look up photos of this place, be my guest. This place is just it's one of the biggest buildings ever constructed in that time era. And it started off smaller, from what I heard. It started off a lot smaller, but there was so many tuberculosis cases that they had to upgrade. And it's like 5 floors of hell now. But, all right, so the history of this place, first of all. Waverly Hills was built in 1910 as a tuberculosis hospital. Back then, consumption, or the tuberculosis itself, had no cure. Their only treatments were fresh air. They would just put you outside and say, just, you're good there.
Yeah.
Which is terrible, by the way. Okay. The only treatments were fresh air, rest, and painful experimental procedures. Over the years, as many as 63,000 patients were believed to have died there. The death toll was so overwhelming that the hospital built a hidden tunnel known as the body chute. I'm not joking about that. That's what it's actually called.
Oh my gosh.
To discreetly remove corpses so the living patients wouldn't lose hope in seeing wagons of dead every day. That is no shit. It's like, no, you didn't see the guy in the gurney. It's okay. Literally, I have done the research on this. This was the body chute. It wasn't just a straight down hole. It was like a door, like a shed, and the door opened up, and it was like a incline that went down, like the size of a football field. And they would roll the gurneys down the chute to the tunnel system where the morgue was. And there was some guy that would hear like a bell or something, and he'd walk, and this guy's in the basement, he would walk to the entrance, and he would hear jingle, 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 and the body would just come flying down. He'd grab it and walk it down to the morgue.
That is no way to live.
No.
I don't know. What happens after work?
Hell.
No, I mean, did they burn these bodies?
That I don't know. I don't know if
Bury these bodies.
maybe it gets into it. I don't know. So even when the building closed in 1961, it has a dark reputation, obviously, a bunch of death. The empty halls became a magnet for explorers, ghost hunters, and skeptics alike. And time again, people left shaken. So, the history of it, this is titled The Fifth Floor. One of the most infamous spots in room 502 on the 5th floor in 1928, a young nurse was found hanging from a light fixture. The story goes that she became pregnant out of wedlock, scandalous at the time, obviously, in 1928. And saw no way out. 2 years later, another nurse supposedly jumped from the same window, which, why would you jump from the same window? I don't know. Since then, visitors say they feel overwhelming sadness in that room. Some claim to see the figure in white pacing back and forth. Others hear a woman's voice whispering, "Get out." Now, the shadow people. The halls of Waverly Hills are long, lined with doors that lead into dark, decaying patient rooms. Dozens of investigators have reported seeing shadow figures, tall, solid black silhouettes that move quickly across the halls. Some are said to crawl on the floor or cling to the ceiling. Paranormal teams have set up laser grids and watched human-shaped shadows block out the beams, even though no one else is there. Now that's a new side of ghost hunting I've never heard of.
Lasers?
Yeah.
What would the lasers do? What would they be?
Make a 3D print. It's like shooting compressed air onto a laser system. It shows it.
Oh, okay.
That's a new one.
That is. I've never heard that before.
There's a urban legend called the Creeper. Perhaps the most disturbing entity is something locals call the Creeper. It doesn't look like a normal shadow figure. It crawls on all fours, sometimes even upside down on the walls and ceilings. It's a damn demon. Witnesses describe a feeling of pure dread when it appears. Definite demon. Like the air itself is being sucked out of the room. People who encounter the Creeper say it doesn't just show itself. It feeds off fear, leaving visitors trembling long after they leave. That sounds like Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
Does it not? That didn't it, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't the Creeper in that movie, didn't it go after the person that was the most fearful? Like it smelled their fear?
Don't get me wrong, I get it Freddy Krueger and Jeepers Creepers.
I would rather deal with Freddy Krueger personally.
You just can't sleep. You just can't sleep, man.
I mean, insomnia's running rampant these days. Screw it.
I don't know. I would go to sleep just to see him. Probably.
Fuck that.
And you don't have the same control in your dreams as you do in real life.
Ah, you're right about that.
Oh, good God. Okay. There was a children's wing. Not all spirits seem menacing, though in the children's ward, there are reports of a little boy named Timmy, of course his fucking name is Timmy, who still wants to play. He's known for rolling balls across the floor. Ghost hunters have often bring toys, and more than once, cameras have captured a ball slowly rolling on its own, even when the floor is level and no breeze is present.
definite ghost.
Why is all ghost children named Timmy? You ever notice that?
Why is it always a ball?
Why do they always play with balls? Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, boys are gonna be boys.
Right.
They play with what's available. One visitor described hearing giggling echoing through the hallway, faint but clear. Even though no children was there, when she turned, she swore she saw a small outline of a boy peeking around a corner. Oh, shit my pants in a heartbeat. Only for him to vanish when she blinked.
No.
So, first-hand accounts. Many visitors have hardened skeptics have left the sanatorium shaken. A former caretaker told of locking the building one night only to hear heavy boots echoing down the hall behind him. When he turned, the hallway was empty, but the sound continued. Slow, deliberate footsteps then followed him until he sprinted out of the building. So imagine, I mean, I'm sure these floors were some type of tile or something like that. So hearing that right behind you running, and you turn around, there's nothing there, and then you just hear it pacing behind you. No. Shit my pants is what I'm doing.
I want to know why none of these people get this on camera. Like, if you have a flashlight in your hand, you have a camera or your phone in your hand, why not just turn it around and take a picture?
Well, it's like when you see something that is traumatizing, the last thing you're thinking about is videoing. Have you ever noticed that?
Okay. You might have me there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like you should take a picture if you see something.
Like, I thought about that the other day. Every traumatizing thing I've ever thought that has ever happened to me, never once have I thought, ooh, I've got a $1,200 phone in my pocket. I could just check.
Guys, if you're listening and you have any photo or video evidence, go ahead and send that in.
Yeah, nothing that you send us, we're going to look at everything. You know, a couple of us are skeptics as it sits. Rachel over there is a skeptic. But,
Sure.
like, we'll still look at it. Because, I mean, you could have an actual ghost on camera, but half the people are not going to believe. It's like pictures of
Yeah,
Bigfoot.
especially with AI now. Everyone's just creating whatever.
Okay. This is some of the initial reports. Others have reported being touched, scratched, or shoved. Flashlights die suddenly, and electronic equipment malfunctions without explanations. EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, have captured voices saying things like, "Help me," or "Don't leave," which, in a hospital, people have tuberculosis. This is 1910. They're terrified, of course.
Sure. Yeah. They're gonna die alone.
Yeah.
You can't bring people.
You know, that could have been one of the patients saying to the nurse, "Please don't leave. Help me," or something like that.
Like an echo.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a hell of a way to go out too.
Luckily, they were already dead before the body shoot happened to them, because that's one hell of a ride.
But would they even document if they weren't dead? Did they do experiments on these people?
That's some of the stories is they did experiment on these people because they had no known cure for tuberculosis. They do now, but they didn't then. And what better way to test out for a new cure than 65,000 patients willing to do it?
Right.
Do you know, like, tuberculosis still kills people? It's like the number 13th in the world.
Isn't there a vaccine for it now, though?
I think so.
Is that one of the vaccines you get when you're a baby?
No, you're older whenever you get that.
Well, there's better treatment for it now than there was in 1910.
For sure.
Hopefully. So, today, Woodland Hills stands its reputation as one of the most haunted places in the world, firmly intact. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the stories told by hundreds of visitors can't easily be dismissed. Too many people, from casual tourists to seasoned paranormal investigators, have walked in and come out forever changed. Guys, if you share this show enough, I mean, obviously we're going to go at some point, but you guys got to share the show, and we're going to get it all on film too.
Absolutely. We got a camera holder right over here.
And Rachel will put on roller skates and ride down the bunny chute.
Just anything to make me believe her.
500,000 likes, and I'd put on roller skates and I've done that damn thing.
Naked.
That's a million likes. Okay. So yeah, that is the basic backstory. In a future episode, we'll do a deep dive into Waverly Hills. But for this first episode, we just wanted to give you guys some ghost stories, just to let you know what we're about. And yeah, guess what? It's Ronnie's turn to do a story.
Okay, guys. My first story is about a Ouija board in the basement.
Now, is this a true story?
It absolutely is a true story, Nathan.
I just cannot name like that.
Just...
Those of you can't see, I hold it across.
I'm just trying to get in the groove of paranormal. Of course. Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay. They say the Ouija board is just a cardboard and plastic. A party trick. A way to spook yourself and your friends. But sometimes, what answers isn't a spirit of the dead. It's something hungrier. And once you invite it in, it doesn't leave. It happened in a college rental house. 4 friends, cheap beer, a storm outside. They lit a candle, set the board down on the concrete basement floor, and laughed. Is anyone here with us? They asked. The planchette said, yes. They thought someone was pushing it, but when they asked, who are you? The board spelled M-A-S-T-E-R. They laughed, but the air felt heavier. The candle flame pulled sideways. Like it was breathing, the planchette jerked across the board. One word. L-O-O-K. They turned their heads, and in the far corner, just outside the candlelight, something was moving. A shape too tall to be human. Arms bent at wrong angles. Its head tilted back, like it was sniffing them. One of them swore later that it smiled, not with a mouth, but with a slit down its face, pulling wider, stretching until the skin tore. They bolted upstairs, leaving the board behind. But the next morning, the board was still there. Only the planchette was gone. And at night, when the house is quiet, the basement door rattles. The sound of fingernails dragging down wood. And sometimes, when you stand too close, you hear it breathing. Right behind you. So, if you ever play the Ouija board, don't ask who's there. You might not like the answer.
Now, in that story, did they say goodbye at the end of that?
It did not say, but obviously it doesn't seem like they they did not say goodbye in the story.
So that thing is just hanging out where they're at right now.
Absolutely. I think that's why the basement door still rattles and they still heard the breath on their neck and stuff.
Oh, God, that's...
I don't know what I would do.
Call a Catholic priest.
Well, it just depends, because sometimes it can give off the vibe to give you, like, not to be scared. Like, they can give you waves of energy, if you understand what I'm saying.
What's funny is you have your
I know.
See, gosh, yes. Guys, we just cannot do this podcast without my spooky blanket. It is a Ouija board blanket that I got for Christmas from Rachel. My boo thing.
You brought a demon into the house like that.
She was the demon, not the blanket.
Rachel wanted her demon to be wanted.
She wanted to be able to cuddle her demon.
Yeah.
So, to our listeners, I'm always on the opinion of to each their own, but please don't mess with Ouija boards. And if you do follow the rules, there are rules for a reason. This is not a game that Hasbro just came out with for a laugh. I think there's a bigger, deep-seated history with those things.
Have you ever played with a Ouija board before?
No.
What about you, Rachel? Have you?
Hell yeah.
Tell us about it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. I was like 16, playing at my best friend's house with his mother.
Perfect age to do that.
She's, a witch, supposedly. And, shit, I can't remember if she asked me to think of somebody. Anyways, I asked it who I was talking to, and I had somebody in mind, and it spelled out my uncle's name at first, and I was like, no, that ain't right. Then it spelled out my grandpa's name, and I was like, oh shit. So I took my hands off immediately and just boo-hooed, and when I saw it, I smoked a cigarette.
Did anybody there know your grandpa's name?
Nope. Or my uncle's. But my uncle's alive, so.
Well, the story goes, in Ouija boards, you can speak to the dead, but it's like when you start the game, it's like opening your window. Whatever pops on the other side is what it is. Anything can come out. It could be your uncle that passed away, or it could be a demon that has a name that you can't pronounce. Pretending.
I've always heard it's demons.
I mean, that's the
That's a
going
witch
rate.
board, bro.
Yeah. That's the going rate for a Ouija board is a demon, but
Don't they make them for children? You can get a Walmart and buy them in the children's section.
Well, you used to be able to buy them at Walmart, but now they're like in Barnes & Noble in the mall. Yeah. I think they say like 8 and up for you to be able to play. Maybe it's 6.
a buddy of mine is very, very skeptic about stuff like that. He went and bought one and went to a cemetery at night by himself and played.
No way. I'm jealous.
So according to him, nothing happened. But I don't know. That's someone that if a demon showed up in his house, he probably wouldn't tell anybody. Oh. I can't. For those who wonder, Ronnie sneezed. It's way funny, sweetheart. So before the show, we're talking about, what to do. She said, what if I have to sneeze? I said, go away from your mic and shove your face in the pillow. And she did that. And the noise that popped out was great.
Could you hear it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was like silence. But you gotta think, I popped my knuckle way back here and my mic caught it loudly.
Oh yeah, I've been trying real hard not to pop my fingers.
Like these, I'm gonna have a time editing all this stuff tomorrow. But hey, luckily, if you guys are, for those of you listening, you're hearing a nice, mellow, creepy tone behind us. We're just hearing our own voices. So it's a lot more difficult. I gotta see. What? Oh yeah, we're doing good on time. All right. Story number 3. So we've got Waverly Hills Sanatorium and we've got a Ouija board story. Well, I've got the story that's it's like the baby birthed from both of those stories that we just told.
I'm ready.
Now, this one is an actual true story. Skeptics, you can believe it or not, but this is a documented story. This is not a ghost story. This is a demon story. The Enfield Poltergeist. Now, for our listeners who don't know what the hell Enfield is, it is a town in England, and I believe the Conjuring series made a movie about this. It was The Conjuring 2.
My dumbass thought it was talking about a baseball field.
Well, it does sound like infield.
Right.
Outfield. So if someone says infield, outfield, and they're going to look at you like you've lost your fucking mind. Okay, I'm going to do the cold open on this one. 3 knocks at 3:12 a.m. Then 3 more. In a terrace house, 284 Green Street, Enfield, North London. The Hodgson family held their breath. It was August 1977, and nothing in their ordinary lives prepared them for what would follow. And that's my opening voice. Okay, I'm going to take you room by room through the house, night by night, through those months, using the accounts of the people who were there. a single mother named Peggy, her children, Margaret, Janet, Johnny, and Billy. Neighbors and police officers reported the 2 investigators from the Society of Physical Research, and some moments are disputed, many are not. This is what unfolded. The first night. It started with the girls' chest of drawers. Peggy heard the scrape of wood on wood and the harsh squeal of furniture sliding, loud enough to cut through the bedtime in the infield turf. She opened the door in the girls' room, ready to scold them for moving things around, and watched a heavy chest slide across the floor on its own. Not once, but twice, until it jammed hard against the door as if the house itself wanted to barricade them in. Now, people listening gotta think, the movie did not go completely in order, because if you remember the movie, that scene happens about midway through it, right before they end up calling the Warrens. So, Peggy threw her shoulder into it. It wouldn't budge. The girls were crying now. Margaret clutching her chest, Janet shaking her head and whispering, "It wants us to leave." They fled to the Nottinghams, which is the neighbors across the way, Vic and Peggy Nottingham, who came back to help. Vic heard the knocks too, 3 at a time. The walls that shouldn't have had anything inside them knock. So the knock itself is coming from inside the walls. He checked the attic, he checked the garden. The knocks followed him like footsteps, just out of sight. That night, someone called the police. Constables walked the rooms, took notes, tried their best to keep things sensible. One officer signed a statement that she saw a chair move several inches across the floor with no one near it. She put her hands on it afterward, checking for wires, concealed magnets. There was none. Then the officers left and the family was alone again. And the knocking started up once more. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when a demon is inside of a house, don't they knock 3 times for, I forgot what it's for. It's something to do with the Trinity.
I've heard that. It's the 3 knocks of the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
That is legit. I've heard that.
And I am not an expert. I heard that on a damn movie, so I didn't know if it was true or not. It was actually the first Conjuring movie that I heard that.
How many knocks did you used to hear at your old house?
You say 3, I'm leaving.
No, it was more than 3. It was like 5.
Oh.
It was special.
That's retarded. You made food in me, I couldn't help. Oh, I'm gonna be fucked up for saying that. So, the next days were scattered of strange events that drew people in like moths to flame. The Daily Mirror sent a reporter and a photographer. A toy Lego brick launched itself across the room and hit the photographer in the face, hard enough to leave a welt. Marbles fell from the dresser and dropped on the floor without rolling. A toy fire engine on the carpet suddenly revved and drove forward by itself until its little ladder smacked into the skirting board. It wasn't constant. It never is. The activity came in waves, hours of quiet followed by minutes of chaos. The intermittence, the stop-start tricks your mind. It keeps you wondering if fatigue is making you gullible, or if the quiet is the breath a storm takes before breaking again. Word spread, and that's how Maurice Grossi arrived. I can't really pronounce that guy's last name. So, the investigators. Grossi was recently bereaved father. His daughter had died in a road accident, and though he was an inventor by trade, he volunteered with the Society of Physical Research. He came armed with a tape recorder, cameras, and a persistence of a man determined to catch the inconceivable, or inexplicable rather. Soon as he joined, a journalist turned researcher. They weren't ghost hunters in leather jackets chucking Latin into the air. They were British, mythological. Lists, floor plans, dozens and dozens of tapes. They would end up recording hundreds of hours inside the house. At first, most of the activity, I can't pronounce words. Most of the activity was around the little girl named Janet. She was 11, too young to lead a con, but old enough to be blamed for one. She began to report being thrown from her bed, pillows skidded across the floor, curtains twisted around themselves until they locked like a wet rope. One night, Gross set up a microphone and asked the air a question only the empty room should hear. Can you speak? What answered sounded like a gravel dragged over concrete. A man's voice, harsh, polygamy, a whisper that somehow carried, it seemed to come from Janet, but not of her, if that makes sense. So this is a demon that has, I don't know if he took over her, but he was speaking through her.
Like this.
Yeah. Now, in the movie, there is a recording of this. I don't know if the recording actually exists, though. But I heard that they got that on recording. And you would swear to God it was an old man talking in the room. Like just a gravelly voiced old man.
So did this stuff just happen to them suddenly? Or was it little things that added up?
I think in some cases it starts with little things, but other ones, like there was a family in Indianapolis, I think. They did a documentary on this. It was called Demon House.
Oh yeah, we watched that.
Yeah, that was the stuff that happened to them. Which that stuff, they said their kid walked up a wall. There's no proof of it, but they swear to God he walked up a wall.
Like crawled or just used his feet?
Like he stepped up on the wall and started walking up it.
Wow.
Alleged. That's one of those things I would have to see and believe. But okay. So checks were made, records were found. A man by the name had indeed lived in the area and died in that house. So the house that they lived in, a man did die there. In the way of the voice described, whether you take it as proof or coincidence depends. So basically, when they recorded, an old man's voice came through and told his name. This is the man that died in the house they lived in. So this was the 70s, so this guy probably died in that house in the 50s. So take that with a grain of salt, take it as you will. Maybe it was a demon that was tended to be this man. That's how the movie portrayed it. But the real story, obviously the real story is not as terrifying as the movie. So, who knows? Okay. The more investigators pressed, the more House seemed to answer in poltergeist grammar. Not with sentence, but with motion. Knocks for yes and no, throws for emphasis, levitation at the end of a sentence that didn't need to be one and wanted to be remembered. There were photographs, famous ones, of Janet above her bed, knees tucked, mouth open, wide scream. Skeptics say that she was jumping. Maybe the human mind is a jury and seldom reaches a verdict, which is very true. December 1977, there was a spike. The metal gas fire in the girl's bedroom ripped off the wall, wrenching pipework. The incident made believers of the many who had been standing on the fence. No child could pull it free. Few adults could do this without tools. The house seemed to be losing patience with being doubted. So this is a demon with an ego.
Definitely not the old man.
No. But I kind of misspoke on one of the paragraphs there, but basically, an 11-year-old girl ripped a giant chunk of wall out of the house.
What?
That is insane. That's like impossible.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if any 11-year-old could do that. And this house was built probably in the damn 20s or 30s, but the pipes are right behind the whatever they had, sheetrock or wall panel or something like that. She pulled everything off, the wall, the pipe and everything. So I remember reading somewhere that they really thought that this was all a big hoax, that nothing ever happened. But the cops went on statement and said they saw these things. They saw the chairs move, they heard the knocks, all that stuff.
But did they see her get pops out of the wall?
No.
Did they see the aftermath?
Yeah, they saw the after.
Okay.
But this was, I think it was recorded because they had voice recorders off at the house the whole time.
Oh. Did you just hear that?
God, dang, you scared the shit out of me.
Did you just hear that?
No.
I swear to God, I just heard something.
What'd you hear?
Don't tell me y'all didn't hear that.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you hear it through your headphones?
Yes, I heard it in my headphones.
What did you hear?
It was just like a raspy voice.
If I am editing this tomorrow and I hear a voice, I'm gonna shit myself. Because I didn't hear it in here. That's happened to me before. I've caught a ghost on a recorder before, and I didn't hear it in person, but I heard it later.
Good luck, Nathan.
Oh God, I'm gonna teach y'all how to edit. Y'all can do it. Okay. The furniture toppled, a curtain wrapped around Janet's neck and tightened until people in the room rushed to unwind it. In the kitchen, plates lifted, hung for a moment in just in the air, and then fell. The family moved downstairs to sleep because upstairs felt like a mouth waiting to close. Another incident is called Through the Wall. There was a routine in their survival. Kids to school, mom goes to the shop, investigators in and out. At night, the house went feral. Janet complained of a cold wind that would pour down over her like someone had opened a hatch above the bed. She said the curtain man, her name for the presence that stood silently at the window, watched with a patience that felt less than human. Billy woke up with toys arranged in a line he hadn't made, little plastic soldiers all aimed at the door as if they knew there were an attack would come from, once they found the family Bible in the toilet. I mean, this is all kind of stuff that you could easily fake, obviously. That's,
Right.
Yeah.
But
Damn, throwing a Bible in a toilet. Oh, that's kind of fucked up.
I mean, that sounds like something a young kid would do, though. Not thinking it was a Bible, they just think, wonder what happens if I do this.
Well, you said, alright, the little girl was 11.
Mhm.
No, she knew better at that point.
Yeah, Janet was her name, the one that had it worse than anybody. I mean, you got to think. I think a demon is just like a damn dog. It comes in and chooses what person it wants to get next to.
Yeah, until it sucks the life out of that person.
Yeah. Okay. From the tapes, a long sequence of knocks, answering questions, one knock for yes, two for no. The new pattern emerged. 33 knocks, slow and deliberate, as if the counting of a hidden measure. Maurice asked, "Why 33?" The voice came back. That's how old the man was when they nailed him up. Blasphemous, theoretical, or something else, the house defied taste as easily as it defied gravity. Neighbors saw and heard things that they didn't want to. Peggy, Nottingham, which is the neighbor, she said she watched a small pool of water form in the middle of the floor and then vanish. A visiting relative refused to go past the hallway when he heard a metallic scraping from upstairs that went on, and when it stopped, the silence felt heavier than the sound had. The voice. The Bill voice, which is allegedly the man who had died in the house before, became a character in the house. A foul-mouthed logger who had insisted and knew the place better than anyone. It would cough, it would laugh, it would complain. My heart, I went blind, and I died in that chair in the corner. It liked to taunt Maurice, the guy, to pounce on their doubt, to intimidate family members with astonishing accuracy. At times, it sounded like a wheezy old man. At others, something else, hungrier. The investigators would later say that when they pushed to make the voice prove it was independent of Janet, activity would escalate to somewhere else in the house as if it was offended. And yet, voice answered questions only in previous occupants. The house itself supplied paperwork that bore out the claim in death. My eyes are starting to glaze over. This is not a part that stays with people even now. Not the chairs and the plates, not even the photos, but the voice that talked about dying there like it had nowhere else to go. So this is technically, I mean, I'm not saying the old man couldn't be in that house still, his presence, but that makes you wonder if demons walk in the same area as ghosts do.
Sure, yeah.
I'm sure they do. Like, who died when they were 33? Is this?
This is apparently the old man died. He was 33.
That's not an old man, then. That's a young adult.
Wonder if you keep aging after death.
I don't think so. I hear a lot of, like, he died and come back, and he was like, he looked when he was in his 20s, you know.
So he could have died as an old man, but had the spirit of living.
Absolutely.
You know. Well, now that I brought up, I wonder if ghosts and demons walk in the same path. I wonder if they're scared of one another.
I don't know. I wonder if they talk, or if they gotta hide from each other.
I wish they go back and forth with each other. Like, you know,
Can demons hurt ghosts?
or who goes get rid of demons.
I would like to know what scares demons.
The devil. Their boss.
Their
I don't
daddy.
know about that.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of my boss. They don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, you think, because during exorcisms, they hate crosses. They hate holy water.
Yeah.
I heard a guy on YouTube the other day say, he's like, I'm just saying, if you put holy water in a humidifier.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I like that idea.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Now, when I wake up outside,
Right.
Yeah.
put a blanket in my car.
So, I mean, the basic necessity, or the basic realm of this story, I can't remember exactly how this story, the Enfield story, ended. Because a lot of the information, like a lot of the movie stuff was true, but they obviously added a bunch of it as filler and, you know, stuff to make you jump. But,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to get into the whole, because this is like a full episode type story right here. I'm just giving you the baseline. So it says what remains. So what was it? A poltergeist in the classic sense, centered in a turbulent, hurling out a storm of kinetic nonsense. The grief of the family under pressure, finding 100 impossible ways to shout help into the air, a haunting, and adopted a vocabulary of living so we'd have something to argue about, basically. I think how it ended is they ended up moving. Then the poltergeist stayed.
That's smart.
So I wonder if that house still stands.
And they stayed in that house how long with all that going on?
I think it was like 5 or 6 years.
That's way too long. I would.
No, I think
done
it all started in the last year, something like that.
Oh, okay.
So they lived normally, and then something brought it in. Now, in the movie, the girls have a makeshift Ouija board, but I never read that in the story, so I think that was added.
Yeah, dramatic effect.
Yeah, dramatic effect.
Top shit.
Now, according to this, the Enfield house is still there. So it's just like,
It's still standing.
yeah, it's still there. But you gotta think, England, all their buildings are really old.
Right.
So, and they keep their buildings for well over 100 years. So yeah. That was Enfield Haunting. I think Ronnie has another video that's going to make she has.
Well, thank you, Nathan, for that interesting exorcism story. What a coincidence that I also have an exorcist story. Okay, so I need y'all to get ready. Get your socks on.
Socks.
Cover up with your blankies.
That heat.
Okay. So this next story, it is not about folklore. It is not about shadows in the dark or things caught on camera. This one is documented, written in court records, witnessed by priests, families, doctors. This is the true story of the exorcism of Annalise Michael. Have y'all heard it?
I think I've heard that name, but I don't know the story.
I don't know. I know Emily Rose.
Well,
I thought that's what you were going to say.
be prepared. Annalise was a young German woman born in 1952, raised in a strict Catholic household. She was described as quiet, deeply religious, and bright. At 16, she suffered her first seizure. Doctors diagnosed her with epilepsy and depression. For years, she was treated in hospitals, given medication, but nothing helped. Because as her health declined, so did her mind. Annalise began seeing dark figures, faces with hollow eyes. She said she heard voices growling, hissing, telling her she was damned, that she belonged to them. And at night, her family claimed she was thrown to the ground by invisible hands. By her early 20s, things had escalated. Annalise would scream for hours. She refused to eat because she said demons were controlling her stomach. Neighbors heard her growling like an animal. She tore the clothes from her body, leaked her own urine from the floor, and destroyed religious objects, such as crosses, holy pictures, ripped them apart with her bare hands. Doctors said it was psychosis. But Annalise herself begged and begged for an exorcism. She told priests she was possessed by multiple demons, including Lucifer himself. Now, in 1975, after a church approval, priests Arnold Renz and Ernest Alt began the rites of exorcism. And they recorded everything. What those tapes captured is the stuff of nightmares. Annalise's voice, once soft and feminine, growled with a guttural, inhuman tone. She claimed to be Judas, Nero, Cain, even Hitler, each voice fighting over control of her body. For nearly a year, 67 sessions, she was restrained, prayed over, and commanded to leave. But the demons laughed. They mocked the priests, screamed obscenities, and howled through the night. By June 1976, Annalise weighed just 68 pounds. She was emancipated, covered in bruises and wounds that she undoubtedly inflicted on herself. During her final sessions, she whispered to the priests, "Please, absolution." She died shortly after, at just 23 years old. The priests were later put on trial for negligent homicide. They claimed they weren't dealing with a sick woman, but with something far darker. And here's what makes this case unforgettable. Those records still exist. You can hear her voice, not the voice of a 23-year-old woman, but something else. Something that growls and laughs and swears it will never leave. So, was Annalise Michael mentally ill? Or was she truly possessed? Science says one thing. The church says another. But if you dare to listen to those tapes, her voice will haunt you. And you'll be left asking the same question countless others have since 1976. If it wasn't demons, then what was it?
Did y'all hear those fucking the taps?
I heard it, but none of us did it.
I didn't hear no taps that time.
As soon as you started the story, I heard tap, tap, tap.
I did too.
And I looked over at her, and her eyes got bigger, and I'm like, damn it. Okay.
What? Oh my God, that gave me chills. That must be.
Because she looked at me, and she's like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But for you guys can't see us, we're whispering, but Rachel looks at me and says, did you hear that? I said, yeah. And she pointed at me, and I said, no. She pointed to Victoria, I said, no. She pointed at the dog, I said, no.
Oh my God, no, I did hear that. It was like small thumping.
Yeah, it was like this is not a ghost, I'm doing this, but it was like bad.
Yep.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, I remember hearing that when I was talking.
Right when you started too. It was like when you were telling that she was in a mental hospital when she was young. That's what happened. Which you heard something earlier when the show started that we didn't hear. I will probably hear it when I go to editing, but
I told you we had a ghost in his house, supposedly.
Yeah, girl, come be on the podcast.
No, fuck that.
Come say something.
All the sages down house after every podcast.
About that time, I might just scooze over. I'm like, nope, I'm going home now.
Nope.
No, if they would lock the doors, you're not going home. You're here forever.
Oh, great.
You're stuck.
Now, your story, she would have been an easy target for a demon possession because she could have been mentally ill on top of it. But, I mean,
Yeah.
I think mentally ill people are very easy targets for just about anything.
And what year was she in the...
1976. Wait, no, I think she died in 1976.
Okay, so she
They
was in her
didn't-
20s, so she was,
Yeah.
say, the 1950s. Say she was in that mental hospital in the 1950s, 1960s maybe. They treated them like shit.
Yeah, there wasn't any laws on
Okay, so she was born in 1952. And
She could have been in her damn 70s now, if she's still alive.
yeah.
And she died when?
The whole exorcism happened in 1975, and then she passed in 1976.
She was just
23.
23, 24.
23, I said in this show, or in the story.
But the priests were arrested for that?
They were tried.
The Vatican probably got, because I think they have some kind of lenience on priests during exorcisms.
Yeah, but back then, who knows?
We had a conversation last week when we were talking about doing the podcast. The conversation went as if, what if priests have a deal with the devil himself to do exorcisms?
That's a good question.
Because it's only priests that I'm not saying any Christian could not do something like that, but it's always priests as you hear about. Priests actually go to school at the Vatican to do exorcisms. How the hell do they practice?
What do they go through? Is it like bootleg training camp?
Well, I've heard in different podcasts, like Sean Ryan had someone on his show that worked for the Vatican at one point. He said there's like 60 or 70,000 cases a year that come through their system, but a lot of them are bullshit. And they have to vet the system. They have to vet each story out to see which one's real.
60 or 70,000 reports of demon possession in a year.
Yeah, the majority of them are bullshit. They're not possessed at all.
Oh yeah, like people trying to get rich.
Yeah, you're trying to make a story or something.
Have a movie about them.
So
Well, that's a lot.
I'm trying to be the next Lorraine Warren.
yeah, speaking of Lorraine Warren, they waited until she died before they started moving that doll around.
I know.
Oh my god, that irritates me.
And I cannot believe that. And I'm so glad that it burnt that plantation down because, yes, let them souls go and be free.
Yeah. That doll is... You sent it to me, or a friend of mine sent it to me, saying that a doll was going to be in somewhere in Kentucky in a week or two.
Idiots.
Oh, God, why would you move that? I don't think they take it out of the case. They move the case
I
around.
thought they took it out of the case.
They're damned if they do.
No, I thought the guy that actually died, the one that had bought, you remember he died not long ago over a massive heart attack?
Was it a heart attack or was it a car crash?
What did you say? What guy?
The guy that bought Annabelle.
They sold her?
Yeah, the guy that, well,
I thought it was the family that's moving it around.
No,
I thought it was the Warren's daughter's husband that's doing it.
I think so, but I could be wrong. But anyways, didn't he die? Somebody messed with a doll recently, and not long after had a massive heart attack and
It
died.
was somebody that attended one of those events that the doll was at, I think.
Possibly. Somebody messed with it and died.
Well, if anybody has information, there will be an email in the description of the podcast, so you can send us an email and let us know what you have to say.
Yeah. Guys, leave comments.
Rate and review us, please.
Yeah. Write and review us. Leave comments. I'm not sure how I'm going to put this on YouTube for sure, but it'll be on Spotify as well. Do I have the AC on in here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You want a blanket?
No.
Do you want that
Yeah,
ceiling fan
that's
on?
right there.
That's what it feels.
Are you cold? Oh, you just
No.
felt the air.
I felt the air. I'm like, was it? It was just.
Is it the
blew
air?
right? I just shaved my head, so it's right. It hit me right in the back of the neck. I'm like, and I'm looking around for vents. I'm like, okay, I'll sit in the vent. Okay.
He's tripping.
Are we good on time?
Yeah. That's actually going to be the end of this, guys. We're going to film another episode, so if you guys are just tuning in, there should be another one right under this one. Like I said, like this, do whatever you got to do to boost this up on Spotify, and go over to the YouTube channel and look at it there.
Tell your friend. Tell your family and your friends if they got a story that they want us to read. We might take phone calls, but we're not sure about that yet. But if you have a story that you want to send in or have something that you want us to look into and dive deep into about, then just send that in and let us know. Give us your feedback, write and review. And we love you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you guys so much. We will see you on the next one.
Bye. Shadows fade. We say goodbye.
Whispers drift where spirits lie.
Darkness calls, the night is sound. Till we return, paranormal pound.